And Canelo better leave Beterbiev and Bivol alone too. Stay away from both them guys.
Y'all just so happen to be here.
Yeah. It's real, huh?
That's all that is.
That's all that is, huh?
I mean, years always got they snap. Man, I appreciate, like, Canelo, you know, he's been doing what he's been doing at a high level for a long time. You got a young dude that literally has a country on his back. He got a lot of pressure. And he's a really good fighter, man. You don't get a lot of credit. Like, he's not just some slugger. Like, the dude is crafty. A good fighter, man. So I've never, like, had any interaction with him. I've just admired him from a distance. It's just respect, man. I like his style. I like how he goes about his business.
Will he get his credit for taking on the Golovkin fight now? Because he was facing
I think he should, for sure. I think he should. Yeah. I think he should. It's a big step up, like physically. Yeah.
Andre Ward, SOG, told and warned Canelo years ago to stay away from Beterbiev Bivol and ARTUR Beterbiev. That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So, you guys heard the clip at the beginning. Hall of Famer Andre SOG Ward, son of God, warned Canelo, you know, don't fight Bivol. Stay away from that guy. Stay away from Beterbiev. Now, the reason this is just coming up, in case you live under a rock, is Canelo Alvarez just lost to Beterbiev Bivol. So, just like clockwork, as predicted, Andre Ward turned out to be absolutely correct. Not only did Canelo lose to Bivol, from my standing point, Canelo looked pretty bad. Like, I didn't have him winning many rounds, right? He tried, you know, he gave it his best, and now people are coming up with all these different excuses. But look, 1.1 million, you guys can go to this page and they got some of the clips for it. You can just look, you know, you'll find them online, some of the clips online and stuff. Canelo, he looked slower. His reaction time wasn't good. And it was just a very masterclass performance by Beterbiev Bivol. And Andre Ward, he tried to warn Canelo Alvarez. Now, the other thing with this is, you know, there's no shame in losing. Guy, you know, two people are fighting. One person wins, one person loses. But I think this loss is becoming so hard for the Canelo fans and Canelo's fan base to deal with, because they did too much. Simply put, they did too much. You know, it became boxing in the comment sections, in forums, etc. It almost became like the purge, where it was lawless. It was complete anarchy. Canelo fans were out here saying anything. You know, I remember, see, this is the thing. The one thing is, you can say whatever you want about me, but I've been in the game. I know fighters. I've covered this beautiful sport for several years. And, you know, I'd like to think I know a thing or two. The Canelo fans were saying anything. They were saying that Canelo demolishes and demos anybody. Even the conversation of Andre Ward came up. Even though he was a retired fighter, people were saying and, you know, suggesting what and giving predictions almost of what would happen. And I always was under the impression even a retired Andre Ward could come back to beat Canelo Alvarez. I truly, truly believe that, right? Because Andre Ward, he's not out here drinking alcohol, doing drugs. He has a job as a commentator. You can see him on TV. He looks like he's still in shape. He still goes to the gym, still maintains. Now, it's his personal choice that he decided that he wasn't going to keep fighting, and he called it quits for a reason. So fair play to him. But I still think if they would have fought just for the conversation's sake, I think Andre Ward would dog walk. I think he would probably stop Canelo, to be honest. Canelo has a beard. Canelo's tough, but I think Canelo gets stopped. But you had the Canelo man fans, and they were just saying anything. They're saying Canelo beats. Look, I told you I've been in the game. There's me right there. That's me at Andre Ward's media day. Let's go. I just seen that. So yeah, I've been in the game, been working, we working. And the Canelo man fans, they treated boxing comment sections like the purge. It was completely lawless. and, you know, just saying a bunch of radical things. And now that Canelo, I have no problem with Canelo fighting a bigger person. You know, he fought at 175, and I don't have a problem with someone taking a gamble. What I do have a problem with is if you're going to take the gamble, take the gamble. And you have to be able to deal with the consequences. It's just like in business. You can have anybody in the business world, and let's say you are investing in stocks or real estate. Guess what? Unless you're a psychic or Miss Cleo, some of your business ventures or decision making is going to fail you. Warren Buffett, you know, Elon Musk, Richard Branson. I guarantee you, if you interview them and you say, hey, Jeff Bezos or whoever, whatever billionaire, Tyler Perry, Kanye West, Oprah Winfrey, whoever you want to say, there will be times where said billionaire tells you about shortcomings, where they thought I should produce this movie or buy this piece of land or open this business, and simply put, it didn't work out. Like, you look at 50 Cent. You know, you can think, if you think close enough, you could probably remember some of the L's that celebrities have taken, Kim Kardashian or Kylie Jenner or whoever, right? Remember Floyd Mayweather was posting that Shots app. You never even hear about the Shots app anymore. So maybe it didn't work long term. It didn't become the new Instagram. It didn't take over like TikTok. So, you know, people make business decisions, and that comes with the territory, those gambles. But people like the great Andre Ward warned Canelo, you should probably stay away from these guys. But Canelo did whatever he wanted, and he was the A side. These are classic photos. These are classic photos, people. He was the A side, and now you want me to feel sorry for Canelo because it didn't play out and work out his way. When you had guys like myself, guys like SOG, who you see on the screen, Andre Ward, telling Canelo, hey, you should, you know, get a weight and stick to that. Canelo has the carte blanche to stay in any division, move to a division, because he was a media darling and they built him on Floyd Mayweather undercards, and he had pay-per-view successes and live gates and stuff like that. So he was the A side of characters, right? So he literally could fight whoever he wanted. He chose DMITRY Bivol. It's an exception that fighters, there's a bidding war for them. You have to be like a talented amateur and people are expecting you, like a Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, or you have to be someone who's a pro and free agent, or if it's basketball, you got to be a LeBron James and you're a free agent, and every team wants you because they know what that would bring to their organization. I tweeted this. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. I have no pity, sympathy, remorse, or feelings of guilt when I say this. Canelo doesn't get special treatment because he lost. He did what a boxer was supposed to do. Sign up, fight, try your best. You're either going to win or lose. And all these excuses look terrible. And I mean that. I really, truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. I said Canelo, if anything, he does have more luxury than 98% of the fighters on the planet. He makes more money than them. He's more famous. There's bidding wars to secure his talent, which is what I'm telling you now. And he has options. Those options Canelo chose. He could have been undisputed at 160 if he fought Andrade, but he left for Kovalev. So we can't cry over spilled milk and be sour grapes when now all of a sudden it doesn't work for you, right? And then now you're like, oh, I'm too small, I'm too little. I mean, you chose this. PBC wanted you, and you could have moved Errol Spence up and moved Charlo up, and that was an option for you. You chose this, so you got to live with the consequences. So if you think now, when it doesn't work out for you, I will have remorse when you have dictatorship powers over most of your career, which 99.9999% of boxers do not have, don't expect any different reaction. It was his choice. He chose light heavyweight, took a gamble, and he came up short. And these things that I'm putting on Twitter, I truly mean, right? Canelo has been in a good, great position as a business and brand in boxing. He steered his career in this direction, no problem, but live with the results. I have fighters in my contact list right now that get calls to fight world beaters and really good guys that look like they're next up with only 2 weeks to train and get short money. They're pretty much brought in to lose. You want me to feel sorry when guys like Andre Ward warned him, like these weight class, Floyd Mayweather, he said, there's an interview with Floyd Mayweather. He said, moving up in weight, it's a process. Canelo disrespected the whole process and just thought he was going to move into any direct division. Like, Ward was sensible enough to say, hey, I'll fight Kovalev, but at least let me get 2 in. Let me fight Alexander Brand and Sullivan Barrera, who was undefeated at the time, to acclimate. Canelo's moving around, bouncing his weight around, and then now it didn't work. You think, you know, everybody's supposed to feel remorseful? Get out of here. The great Andre Ward warned him. Myself warned him. They were talking about, look, Canelo expresses interest in a heavyweight fight at a catchweight. This is why you don't play boxing. You don't play around. You want to move up in your weight, and you have the freedom of choice, which, again, there's a lot of people under contracts. They can't even get a fight. They don't even know when they're fighting next. So you're not going to make me feel sorry. I'm more of a Robin Hood type of person. I love a good underdog story, and you're not going to make me feel sorry for Canelo, who had pretty much control. He got himself out of his Golden Boy contract and pretty much had control over his career, and he chose not to fight Charlo or Errol or Benavidez and stay at 168 and defend the title. He chose to leave 160 to fight Kovalev instead of fighting Andrade or Charlo as mandatory. So live with the results. Boom. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.